Hello people of the internet, it's Amanda, and if you're new here on my channel, I usually talk about Japanese movies, dramas, entertainment. Sometimes I talk about other Asian pop culture topics as well. And for today's video, we're here to talk about my favorite thing to discuss here on this space, which is number I. Now, it's no secret, I'm a huge fan of kishi and Jin for years now, and so I'm just really happy about the type of releases that they've been doing lately. Their current music is really up my alley with a lot of like hip-hop, rock inspirations, but at the same time they're also doing a lot of pop and just very chill R&B sounds. That kind of like diverse pool of music, something that I really enjoy. I actually, like, before we start, I actually was able to secure a lot of goods for their first live tour. I wasn't able to hit for the concert, unfortunately. Like, I tried to ballot for so many different places, already planning the trip in my head, but I think it's still not meant to be for me to see them live. So I just splurged on the goods. The only thing that I didn't get is a t-shirt, which is funny because, as you can see, I actually love band t-shirts, and I think you've seen it in my other videos as well, but I just couldn't put myself out there to wear a shirt with their faces on them. But I think the design is really cute. I love that they went with a band tee aesthetic, which really fits the kind of like vibe that they're going for, especially with the rock hip-hop inspirations that they've been doing lately with their music. And I just absolutely love the design of the goods this time around. Again, as I mentioned, I love the like a thorny heart design with, it's just, I absolutely just love the design of the goods this time around. Especially like the back of the Uchiwa. I love the pen light. I'm super excited. As you can see, I have some of my pen lights. You can't see most of them, but I have some of my pen lights displayed on my backdrop right here. So I'm super excited to replace the Two Heroes one with the actual number I pen light. So that's that. So I was kind of like sad that I didn't get to like the ticket and everything, but I was happy the next day because I was able to get the goods. And then the day after that, you know, they released the Inazuma Hyper Band version, which is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, I absolutely love band music. I love music where you can actually hear like the instruments in it, like the guitar riffs and the drums and all these other things, possibly because like even growing up, I just love that type of music. That's the reason why when EDM was a thing, I wasn't really that much into it because of all the like techno sounds that go into it. Like there's still some EDM music that I enjoy, but I still love music more where I can hear like actual instruments being played in the background. So I was really looking forward to it. And again, because of the hip hop and rock inspirations of Inazuma, which I've briefly touched on in my Inazuma reaction video, I was curious as to how this hyper band live version is going to turn out, because obviously, like, knowing number I, they're not just going to release something that is cut from the same cloth of the original version that they already have. It's very obvious, even in the way that they release like dance performance videos and all these other things. It's not just one and the same of the other thing, like just a variation of the other, but there's always something different in the way that they present something, even if it's the same thing, just so there's a differentiation or a value add to what they're releasing next. That's why I'm really curious about it. So when I saw this in the track list of the album, I was excited, and I was excited that they actually released a music video for this. I've already watched this multiple times when it was released, but as always, I just want to share my reactions to you in camera, just sit down and react to it as well here, and just possibly like talk about some of the things that I absolutely love about the video and additional commentary and whatnot. So you know the drill. With that said, let's just get to it. First of all, I've been loving the way that they're choosing their outfits lately. speaks to their style a lot, which is amazing. Let's pause it right there. Jin is wearing a Beastie Boys t-shirt, so let's go back. I love Shaw's outfit in this one. Jin is wearing a Beastie Boys outfit. Now, a lot of reactors, because I also watch people who videos of people who react to Number I, and a lot of people who are really into music are kind of like comparing Number I's sound to how Beastie Boys were years back. And it's because, you know, Beastie Boys, they started out as a punk group, but they transitioned their music to something a little bit more mainstream, like hip hop and rock, and they really thrived in creating that kind of blend. But because of their punk background, they added new flavors to the genre that initially people found kind of like very experimental, not sure how to make out of it. Very similar to how Number I is doing their music nowadays, where they're doing all these different types of sounds. A lot of people didn't really expect this from them, especially for those who knew their background and the type of music that they were doing prior. But eventually, you know, Beastie Boys became one of the most influential groups when it comes to the hip-hop/rock music scene. So I just love this connection. I'm not sure, like Jin mentioned before, that he absolutely loves kind of like ego surfing and reading about commentary on their music. I'm not sure if he's seen all those comparisons with Beastie Boys. That's the reason why he's wearing it in this video, or it's simply because he just loves wearing band t-shirts as well and just love vintage shirts and vintage style, which is why he's sporting this. But either way, I just love this little like thing right here, seeing it on him. So yeah. Oh, it's so cool just seeing them vibing to the music and headbanging to it. They sound so good, and to think like this, you can really hear the rawness here. These angles as well, I'm absolutely obsessed. My god, the raw vocals, their live performances are always so much better than studio versions, which is why I love that they did this. I have a best friend who is a Jin stan, and she's not a huge fan of Jin's long hair. And I kind of like joked the other day that the reason why Jin has his hair long is because he's in his rocker era. And we are kind of like going back and forth about this because she's not a huge fan. She loves Jin's Jo hair more, like the short one, the one he's wearing in the Ketsuke no Jo. But I absolutely kind of like am getting the vibe here that that's what Jin is going for, especially the type of music that they're making lately, and it's working so much for this version of the music video. So I just want to put it out there. Like, Jin looks so cool here. Like, all of them look so cool here, and I love this part. I love this part so much. Kishi. And Shaw's voice, especially in the recent releases, like his lower register just fits so well with the music that they're making lately. Wait, let's go back a little bit. This part right here, I am obsessed because you can just see them so high in the music that they're making. They're so into it, and I've always loved it whenever you see them enjoying their performance, and not just enjoying in a sense that, you know, you can see that it's fun or whatever, but you can literally see it when an artist gets lost in the music that they're performing. And this right here, like this pose with Kishi just feeling the music, and the way that all three of them are just vibing to it, it actually made me emotional the first time I watched it, which is so funny because of how, again, it's a hyper band live version, so it's all about headbanging and stuff like that. But I personally got really, really emotional seeing them like this, because it's like seeing them live on stage on those performances in Summer Sonic before, or just their concerts were just vibing, but so much more in the festivals and Coachella and Summer Sonic as compared to concerts, because in those you can really see like the crowd, people who are not as familiar with your music vibing with you, and you kind of like get lost in that energy. And that's what I felt so much watching this music video. So, and there's just something so cool about seeing them headbanging for some reason. Oh my god. Sure. So good. This part right here is my favorite part. Energy. Oh, I love them so much. And let's pause here for a second before I completely gush over what we just watched. But so they've had collaboration. I'm really happy about this. The scratch is from DJ Izo. Then Monjo and Shun did the programming, other instruments, as well as, you know, collaboration with like the music for this, also lyrics with Pekori-san. The drums is from Maso-san, guitar Utsugi from Cold Rain. All these other collaborations is just insane to me, because they didn't just go with any other band. They actually pitched this to other artists, and these other artists agreed to collaborate with them for this performance. And I just find that so awe-inspiring for some reason. Like, obviously fans of these people can discover Number I through them, and Number I fans can discover these other artists or rediscover these other artists because of them. And this type of collaborative work is just so amazing for me, that they're now able to kind of like do this. And they've been doing this before, like for example with Crevasan and all these other things, but it's just extending beyond that and just doing these collaborations with not just artists within the same niche or genre, but expanding towards that to improve their discography. I don't know, but it's just so cool to me. And then going back to that last bit, I love that in the original version and whenever they perform it, because it just puts the audience in such a high right before the performance ends. Like, it shows so much that Jin is the producer of it, because as I mentioned before, what I noticed based off of his other productions in the past is he always takes note of how the song is going to be performed live or on stage, and it shows in Inazuma and the way that it's conceptualized. And I absolutely just love how this turned out, is because it speaks so much as to how the concept for this song is put out there, is because it took into consideration the live performance of it, and it's not just one variation of the mainstream version, but challenging it into transforming it another version that sounds similar to the original but has a completely different arrangement that gives it a completely different tone. Like, if that one is very rock and hip-hop inspired but still has that vibe of the usual music, like mainstream music that Number I has been doing, then this one completely changes shape and really transforms into like a band song without the beat switch ups that are very, very prominent that was in the original version. It's just a fresh take on their own music, which I really find fascinating, and that's the reason why I love that there's so much more hands-on with their music now, is because you can see this level of creativity and the way that they put that much effort into their release. And it also speaks a lot to their personal tastes, because for Jin, you know, it's not just the vintage tees or the vibe or anything, but they also talk about listening to like artists that inspire their music, like you know, like you can definitely see a lot of influences with other mainstream, like foreign artists in the vibe that they're doing with AC/DC, Nirvana, probably a little bit of Guns N' Roses as well. But yeah, and again, as I mentioned, no Beastie Boys. So overall, as usual, this is a version that is really, really kind of like, I absolutely love this. I probably even love it more than the original Inazuma version. And I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in a previous video before or on Twitter or to just a friend talking about it, but I was almost sure that they weren't really releasing a choreography video for this one, because it's not a choreo heavy production. It's really more of like a performance, and I'm really, really happy that I was kind of like right in predicting that they would release the hyper band version instead. So I know that people are probably kind of like, at least other reactors who were talking about Number I recently are expecting a choreography video considering what they've seen in a music video, but I'm absolutely glad that they're offering this new thing to the table and saying that, you know, they're not just kind of like a dance group that also does very diverse music, but they're also doing these types of things, variations to their performances and all those other stuff. But yeah, so I'm super excited for the album. I originally thought it was September 13th, and then I realized it's September 23, the release. So a lot longer wait. I'm looking forward to receiving my goods and doing an unboxing, because I wasn't able to do that for the Ariake goods. I wasn't able to get any for that. So I'm super excited to go back into making unboxing videos, because I've done that before with all of my KP stuff. So we're back to doing that again for Number I. And yeah, so with that said, thank you so much. Tell me down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the Inazuma Hyperband live version? And as usual, let's just talk it out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel and you would want to hear more from me, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon in a new one. Bye!